Hey everyone, welcome to Advanced Civil Litigation. I'm just going to give you a quick Blackboard tutorial here of our course shell so you know how to navigate it and what to expect throughout the term. So I am in my student preview mode, so this is what you will see when you log into your course shells, okay? So right now here we're on the home page. I will post announcements right here throughout the term. So just make sure you're constantly checking that when you log into Blackboard. I also always send an email announcement that will go to your Kaiser email address when I do post an announcement. So don't be surprised. If you get those emails, just make sure you check your Kaiser email regularly. I will, of course, also get your personal emails and your phone numbers. And sometimes it's easiest just to especially communicate personally through text message or email. But any general course announcements, I will post here throughout the term, okay? The next tab that I'm going to mention, and this menu right here for anyone who doesn't know is really important. It's basically how you navigate Blackboard. If for whatever reason you log into Blackboard and you don't see it, it just means your menu is collapsed. You'd see it like that. So just click on this little gray arrow and it'll uncollapse it for you. So this is obviously me, just a little bit about me here, our class schedule and my contact information, and I did a little welcome video for you, just talking about some basics for the class before we get started. So do me a favor and just take a look at that if you haven't already. The next and probably one of the most important tabs that you're going to have here in the course shell is the syllabus. I've laid out everything that you're going to need to know for this term and in order to do well for this class. Right here is how to get your textbook. It's an e-textbook, so you'll need to get an access code from the campus bookstore. I'm sure there may be a print version out there if you want to try to track it down. I know some students try to use some access or some websites to get books that are a little less expensive or rent them. I totally get that. Whatever works for you is fine with me. Just make sure you have access to the textbook, whether it's an ebook or whether you track a hard copy down, because it is going to be necessary for the class, okay? Just some basics here: our class schedule, my attendance and participation policies, just some helpful information how to get into Kaiser Live, class safety and procedure. Here's a summary of how your grade will be calculated, breakdown, as well as various assignments that are going to be due throughout the term and their due date. I've broken down a summary of each week for you and what to expect in each week and what you'll need to do. And obviously the details of all of these assignments we're going to go through in a moment in the various week 1 through 4 tabs. And then through here, I just have general course guidelines, policies and procedures, exams, electronic submissions. All submissions of all assignments will be through Blackboard. I don't accept submissions via email. Everything will be done through Blackboard. I will then grade it through Blackboard and send it back to you. So take a look at that. If you have any questions, let me know. My policy on late assignments, password and text support, and then a variety of Kaiser University policies, okay? So just take a look through all of that and just make sure you're clear. And of course, if you have any questions, absolutely don't hesitate to reach out to me, okay? Student resources, this is a helpful tab. Again, I've reiterated a lot of the information that's in the syllabus. I've reiterated it here, but sometimes people look in different places for things, so I just want to make sure you guys have access to everything. But what's also important is that the Student Resources tab has this place where I can attach files. I've attached 3 files so far for you. Just an ethics summary and the NALA Code of Ethics for paralegals, which is just important to know and have, and I will reference it through the term. The Florida Circuit Civil Cover Sheet, this is just a standard form that gets filed with Florida civil cases. You should be aware of it, and we'll touch on it this term. And then the Florida Rules of Civil Procedure. This course primarily focuses on the federal rules of civil procedure, but when there are important things to note that are either similar or different with respect to Florida, I will absolutely highlight those for you. And these are just important to have, in general. So feel free to take them and download them and keep them for future reference. They'll be helpful to you in your career, okay? And then I will add to this throughout the term. I put my PowerPoints from class there, as well as an additional place in Blackboard, which I'll show you momentarily. But then I'll put anything else that I think is of relevant importance and something you should have, I'll attach here in the student resources section. So just make sure you check that regularly. But again, I communicate constantly, so I'll let you know when stuff goes there, okay? Moving right along is your program resources tab. Again, has a lot of similar information, just particularly with respect to the program in this course that was contained in the syllabus, but this is a shorter version, kind of a summary, and definitely just be familiar with it. And again, another place for password and tech support should you need it. If you click on this link to Kaiser Library, it will bring you directly to the Kaiser Library webpage in a new window. The Legal Help Center. This is just some basic information. Here's another link to the Kaiser Library in the Legal Help Center. This is a summary on how to brief a case. We're not going to be doing that in this class in particular, but it is an important skill to have. It's something you should, hopefully at this point in getting your bachelor's degree, know how to do. And especially because we'll be reading some cases this term. If you don't, you can certainly talk to me about it, but it just has a summary and a description of how to brief cases in here, which is definitely important and something, even if you just save the information, I would recommend doing so because you're going to get asked in your professional career to brief cases, and having an understanding and knowing how to do so is really important. But again, I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of experience doing this thus far through your bachelor's degree. And again, if you don't worry, you will learn it, whether it's from me or Professor Pingle, as you progress in your studies. Westlaw, again, this is just a tab. If you click on this folder, I'm not going to walk through everything just because this isn't a full-blown legal research and writing class, but it is a good tool to do legal research should you need it. And if you have questions on how to use Westlaw, I'm happy to walk you through it. It's a really helpful legal research tool. Another summary with respect to how to cite, how to do legal citations is definitely very important. I'll touch on that through this term as well. This law library just has a bunch of non-commercial resources, and by that I mean you don't have to pay for them to look up various law, whether they're government websites or other websites that just happen to be free. But I do caution you usually, those are not actually very kept up to date, I should say. They can be inaccurate, so you just want to be careful with that, but they still can be helpful tools. And then this legal jungle here is just a summary of, when you click on the folder, it's a summary of some information if you're interested in law school, kind of the procedure for starting the application process and the LSAT process, as well as various websites that may hold potential job opportunities for you, as whether it's a legal assistant or a paralegal, or anything else tangentially related to the legal world, if you're not yet going to law school, and obviously are not yet an attorney. Okay. But again, I don't need to walk through all of this for you. I just wanted to give you a quick summary. And these are just here as resources for you. And if you have any more questions about them, we can certainly chat about them in the future. Okay, so moving right along, I'm going to click over here on the discussion link. This is the link to the discussion board. You guys do have one discussion board this term. It's just one assignment. It will be individually graded. It's in week 2. You can see the description here. It's not incredibly complicated, but we're going to be focusing on a particular case file this term, and I want you guys kind of to discuss the strengths and weaknesses of the case and additional information you think might be helpful for the case. And the way you would do the discussion board is you just click on it. It says week 2 discussion board, and then obviously there's nothing here yet because no conversations or threads have been created. But when you wanted to submit your discussion board assignment, you would click on create thread. You could write in week 2 discussion board as the subject, and then you would just type in the answers to my questions here after doing your kind of thoughtful analysis. And then you would just click here, you would click submit once you've typed all that out. Okay, you just click submit and it would show up in, I'm going to hit cancel here, and it would just show up right here. And then part of this assignment is to respond to one of your classmates and respond to one of their posts, and you would just see their posts listed here, and you could just read through them and pick one you wanted to respond to, and there's a very clear big reply button. So if you have any questions, you just let me know, but it's pretty user friendly. It shouldn't be difficult, but the way you create your post is to hit create thread like I just showed you. Okay. Kaiser Live right here, that's how you get into our online classes. If you have any questions about that or any issues with it, let me know, but I'll click on it quick. Just to show you, you'll just click on here, Advanced Civil Litigation Course Room, and then you just click on Join Course Room when you wanted to come into class, okay? I'm going to close out of that for a minute. If you need to ever watch a recording from class, whether it was a Kaiser Live recording from one of our online sessions or a Kaiser Live recording of our in-class sessions, which I am going to be recording through Kaiser Live, you would just click on that in these three lines in the upper left corner, this menu here, just click on that, and then you just click on recordings. And obviously there are no recordings there because we don't have any yet, but that's where they would be located in date order. Okay. Moving right along, I'm going to click on start here. Really important, if you're watching this before we've had our first class, which hopefully you are, if you could please just fill out the certification here, just click on it. It's basically just certifying you're not going to cheat in the course. Please do so, and then once you do so, I get a notification you filled it out, and I'll mark you present for that day, even though it's not a formal class day, but it's a good way to just mark you present, let the university know you're enrolled and ready to go with respect to next term. Okay. So if you just fill out that certification as soon as you can, that'd be great. And again, I've just reiterated our course schedule, attendance, and participation, as well as obviously you're going to be doing some drafting this term. Plagiarism is obviously prohibited. Do not plagiarize. And of course, if you have any type of unexpected illness or event, just let me know. Get in touch with me. COVID is obviously still amongst us. We're going to take as many safety precautions as possible at the university, but things happen in life, so it's okay. You just got to communicate with me and we'll go from there. Okay. And then I've put down here just some helpful basics of civil litigation, and these should provide you some good background. Obviously, I know you all have taken civil litigation already because it's a prerequisite to this advanced class, but just make sure you just read through this, refresh your recollection, refresh your memory on everything. I think it'll be helpful as we dive into all this stuff, but I will also be going over some stuff in the first week that will hopefully be a bit repetitive for you, but if it's not, it's good to learn it, obviously. And then also it'll provide a good basis for you guys to jump off of as we dive into all the material in more depth in the later weeks of the term. Okay. So week 1, real quick, I set up all the weeks for you guys. I put a summary at the top of each week of what to expect. Your reading, I put PowerPoints to the readings here. Make sure you read the chapters in the textbook, but I put summary PowerPoints here as well. I do update these as I go. So always make sure the one that I have and will be referring to is the most up to date in there. Usually give me a day or two before class. But you can expect that's what we'll be going over in class, and I'll be giving examples and developing those PowerPoints as we move along. Here's your week 1 course objective exercise. You actually have 2. There's 2 course objective exercises in week 1 that this is the whole assignment. I know it looks long. It's really not. It's really not as bad as it looks. But the way that you would go about completing and submitting this assignment is just submit it, create it in a Word document on your computer. You can, save it, come back to it later. And then once you're done creating your answer to this assignment, you would just click on right here, browse my computer, attach files. You would just attach, whatever Word document it was, and you'd select it, obviously click open, and you would click open and it would pop up and you'd attach it and you just hit submit right there. Okay. And that's how you submit it. I get a notification that it needs grading. I'm able to download it and see it. I can comment on it directly in Blackboard and then send it back to you with comments, your grade, and everything like that. Okay. So that's how you're going to do that for all of your assignments this term. All right. You're going to click on the assignment, scroll to the bottom. After you've created the assignment in a Word document on your computer, again, you can save it, come back to it, click on browse my computer and submit it. Okay. I'm just going to hit cancel here to get back. So you have 2 course objective exercises due Sunday by midnight of week 1. I'm just going to click here on week 2. Same thing. You got your week 2 summary, week 2 reading, week 2 discussion board. I mentioned that earlier, and that's just a quick link right to it. So you can click right on it, or you could go through this discussion tab. Either one, it brings you right to it. Okay. I'm going to go back to week 2 real quick. You'll have a week 2 drafting assignment. You're going to draft a complaint. We'll talk more about this through the term, but same situation. You would just draft your complaint in a Word document. You'd attach it here through Browse My Computer and you'd submit it to me for grading. Okay. Week 3, same situation. And then week 4, again, same situation. Week 4 is much shorter. And I should note, just for your exams, you can expect in week 2, you'll find the midterm located right here at the bottom of week 2. And in week 4, you'll see the final and the post test when I make them available right here at the bottom of week 4. But I will give further instruction on that in the future. All right, that's it. I look forward to working with all of you. Have a really great day, you guys. Talk to you soon.